The National Lead Institute is a nonprofit community correctional and training organization. The Institute has provided programs and services in the area of harm reduction and substance use disorder for over 13 years. Lead Institute now needs your financial support to continue its much-needed school-based violence prevention, crime, and drug demand reduction programs and services. Now, let's listen in to a word from its president and CEO.
Clock is the sum total of all of the decisions that I would have made in the last 50 plus years.
So, what do you do as your profession?
Well, I am the founding president and CEO of the National Lead Institute. In addition to that, I am an international certified addiction professional level 1 for drug demand reduction. And recently, I've been trained as a United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, Global Master Trainer in the area of drug demand reduction.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the programs and services that you offer through the National Lead Institute?
Well, here at the National Lead Institute, we have several different programs and services. We have the Eagles Academy, which concentrates on the alternative schooling program for the at-risk and the marginalized and challenged students within the educational system. We have diversion behavioral health care resources and services. It provides our support groups. It provides treatment services for those who have behavioral challenges and dealing with mental illnesses or mental health issues such as anxiety. They're going through grief. Persons might want to commit suicide. Persons who are depressed. And persons who just want a place where they can come and talk to a certified counselor or certified mental health professionals. In addition, we have Project Reentry Caribbean, which works with the inmates transitioning out of correctional facilities in the Bahamas, the Caribbean, and the United States. We have Caribbean Correctional Training, which offers programs and services, certification training for those who want to work with these individuals who are considered at risk and actually occupy the status of offenders.
Now, that is a very extensive portfolio.
As a welfare officer, I would have seen a lot of young men, especially between the ages of 18 and 21, who came in the correctional system or the prison back then, shackled. And it reminded me of the movie Roots and slavery. And I say, you know what? We are losing too many of our black men on the streets of New Providence. And something has to be done. And that was the impetus that actually helped inspire me to get into the work that I'm now doing over 13, going on to 14 years.
You seem to be very passionate about the work that you do at Lead Institute. So can you share with me what are the future goals for Lead Institute? Let's say within the next 5 to 10 years, what are your goals?
Well, basically, I would like to put in the next 2 to 3 years. Our goals within the next 2 to 3 years is to become financially stable in offering the programs and services to a wider community in Grand Bahama and on the island of Eleuthera and on the island of Abaco. It is our desire to actually establish a in-house treatment facility where we can establish a 10 to 15 bed facility for those who suffer from substance use disorder, whether it's through alcoholism, whether it's through opioids, whether it's through medication from prescription medication. And it is our hope to establish that facility that will provide treatment for those with mental health issues as a result of substance use. And so it is our hope that in the next 2 to 3 years, we have this up and running efficiently and effectively.
Very good. Thank you so much. So tell me, and this is the final question I have for you. How is the National Lead Institute supported financially?
Basically, the Lead Institute, thanks to the government of the Bahamas, past and present, we are funded by subvention grant through the Ministry of Education. But that is not enough to run our services. At this time, at this juncture in October 2022, we are cash strapped and there's a dire need to provide mental health services on the island of Grand Bahama, Abaco, and on the island of Eleuthera as well. And if we don't get the necessary funding from corporate Bahamas or individuals, we would not be able to provide those programs and services. So our board, on behalf of our board of directors, chairman of our board of directors, Mr. Christopher Chinabu, and the board, I am the chief spokesperson that runs or operates the Institute on a daily basis. And I'm just encouraging corporate Bahamas to donate, sponsor a child in our educational system who finds themselves challenged. And by you sponsoring a child or an individual who might be going through some mental health issues, whether it's substance induced or whether it's a some traumatic experience, we will surely be able to help those individuals get back up on their feet and become what we call productive citizens in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So with the little subvention, thank God for that subvention that comes through the Ministry of Education, we are in dire need of other funding through social services and the wider community, and especially our corporate Bahamas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Clark, I really want to commend you for the work that you've been doing throughout our communities. So tell me, if someone wants to make a donation to the National Lead Institute, can you tell us how do they go about doing that?
Yes, indeed. If anyone wants to make a donation to the National Lead Institute, they can make it at our bank branch at Scotia Main Branch. The account number is 70045-400-1885. Or they can drop off their donation at our Jamaica Road location, New Providence, or at the Orlando House on Queens Highway, Freeport, Grand Bahama. Our telephone numbers are 242-602-1768 or 242-525-3749. Our email address is info@leadinstitute.org.
Do you have any final word for our audience?
Yes, I would like to leave with you today that all men fall, but the great ones get back up. You do not drown by falling into the water. You drown by staying there. You do not decide your future. You decide your habits, and your habits decide your future. Thank you.